Mm.
Whoa. We got people here already.
Sweet.
We got the Moosh Man.
Wow.
We got Amanda Carlson and our friend Chugs.
The Moosh Man's brother.
The Moosh Man's brother.
The Moosh Man's brother.
How are we doing? How are you doing, Chugs? Right, we are live on Instagram.
We are live. Now we should drop a quick video of the theme.
This
you know
is,
what I mean?
Yes, where the dolphin and
a theme. Some kind of theme video, we run around LA and take pictures,
like Friends opening theme, like us doing hijinks, like splashing in a fountain and falling back out of our chairs and
in all the different cities.
Yes, we need a Disco Biscuits sitcom.
A Biscom. We need a Biscom.
All right. I'm ready when you are, John. Let me know and I'll fire up the theme song.
Do it. Let's go. Let's get started, everybody. How's everybody doing?
All right, theme song. Here we go. You know what? I don't like that. I'm gonna do it this time with the volume on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Welcome back to Touchdowns All Day. I'm your host, Max Dawson, and with me from the road, John Barber. I don't even know where you are right now, John.
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky, where you will be playing on June 24th, tomorrow, Tuesday, the beginning of a 5-night run, week 4 of the Disco Biscuits Summer 2025 tour is upon us. But John, before we get to all of that, we have so much to talk about. Week 3, smashing success. We had Tractorbeam. We had Camp Home Again. We had outdoor shows. We had indoor shows. So much ground to cover. So much music to listen to. John, are you wearing the same shirt that you were wearing the last time I saw you? I think John's frozen. Well, John, you're back.
Sorry about that.
Yes, we have to make sure to call it Louisville. But John,
Louisville.
I don't know what you caught there, what you didn't catch. You're on the hotel Wi-Fi. Bear with us, folks. We're mass communicating.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was asking if you were still wearing the same shirt you had on the last time I saw you, because we talked about tour fashion. Have you gotten to the point where it's just the one thing and then you wear it till you throw it away?
Well, I did a little Steve Jobsian type of thing on this tour where I bought 6 of the same black shirts. So every other day I can wear a black shirt. I don't have to think about it. I just throw the shirt on and go to work. And then the other day I pick something out interesting till I run out of laundry. So I'm midway through the laundry now. I'm in good shape.
Very good.
This is a fresh shirt for the pod.
So,
fresh pod shirt.
John, in the midst of all of the touring, the Camp Home Again, all the stuff we're going to talk about, you guys also dropped a new video.
Yes.
You and Magner, if you guys recall, have been working on the musical adaptation of The Very Moon, well, the hot air balloon, which is The Very Moon, for quite some time now with Nick Schmidl, lots of other collaborators. And over the last few weeks, you and Magner have started releasing some animated videos to go along with the studio recordings of the tracks.
Yep.
So first up, what was first up? Because I know this is the third. Before this was Eulogy. What was before Eulogy?
Falling. We started with Falling.
Started with Falling, of course. How could I forget? You started with Falling.
That one had a video. It was cool. Guy jumps off the cliff. Yeah.
And we're working with Kush on these videos?
Yep. Kush, myself, Nicholas, Magner. We're just constantly going it's a very creative exercise. We're going around and around. We basically mold these videos. We went into the studio with Jason Fredicelli and Marlon Beebe Lewis and made just really great tracks. We were there for 2 days and we made tracks on everything. And here we are. We have full videos being made. We have songs that are recorded. Magner did the mix down of this song. He did all the production. So if you like the way that it sounds, send a nice happy thumbs up to Aaron. He really killed it on this. And yeah, it's awesome.
So this week, the release was Take Me With You. And astute listeners will recall that the Disco Biscuits sort of accidentally played Take Me With You at a show last winter. In the midst of Saber Dance, you guys sort of spontaneously started playing Take Me With You without really filling in Brownstein and Allen on the fact that this was a song.
I mean, that's what we do all night long. We play things that nobody knows we're going to play. I mean, it's literally what we do. So it was not such a big deal. It seems weird that it was an actual song and not just like a jam idea, but you know.
Earlier on that tour, we're talking Winter Tour 2024, I had gone on a hike with Magner in Tahoe. And while he was hiking, he was sort of like, it was like his marching music. Because this is good activity, high tempo. It's got that Saber Dance vibe. And Magner couldn't stop singing Take Me With You. And I'm going, what is this? And sure enough, you guys bust into an impromptu instrumental version of Take Me With You on stage that night. This is, of course, the song now, though, that you guys have created this new video for. And we're going to share the video with you guys. I wish I could say it was a world premiere, but it was released a few days ago. We're going to share the video with you guys. Barber offers some commentary. There's a great mix of animation and studio footage. So talk about who's playing what, talk about the personnel, the vocalists. Ladies and gentlemen, Take Me With You.
I saw you at the factory. My head's not here, it's there. Take me with you.
How?
There's rumors you can fly, that you caught fire to a napkin and it stayed up in the sky. Take me with you.
No, don't believe her on the flight. I haven't solved the science, I'm still trying to get it right.
Take me with you. I'll do anything I can. Make a bargain with the devil. Look, he's sitting in the den. Take me with you. You should hear him when he snores, mumbling intermittently the names of all his whores. Take me with you.
Whoa, what?
I have heard his evil plot, rain poison candies from the sky to wipe out people by the lot. Take me with you.
Leora.
He's a criminal of war, skinning prisoners alive and chopping heads to keep the score. Take me with you.
Not me.
Humility is sweet. You're the man for our salvation. Save the world if you want me. Take me with you.
Where?
I don't know and I don't care. Since I saw you at the factory, my head's not here, it's there. Take me with you.
Why?
That's the easiest question yet. When you fall in love, the world constricts and all else you forget. Take me with you.
When?
Now could not be soon enough. I don't sleep at night, I lay in fright. Please rescue me, my love. Take me with you.
What?
Don't act like you're surprised. Suspend your apprehension, ride the jet stream to the sky.
Wow. What do you think?
I'd love to
What'd you
hear from the
think?
chat. Renee, He knows the whores' names. What a gentleman. I absolutely love, I know this is against the rules, John, but I love Magner on a grand piano.
He agrees with you. When we play acoustic shows together, he brings in an acoustic piano if they don't have one. He literally has rent one and has them deliver it.
It sounds so good. And that whole band. So say again who all of the accompanists are. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties once again. Should we play a joke on John for when he comes back? Well, there you go.
All right, I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back.
I was saying, remind us again who the accompanists are there.
Well, the lead vocal is Hannah Gaffney, who is a stage actress. She's a stage actor, and she's a television actor, and she's we hired her for the reading, and she was so good that she just blew everybody away. Like, nobody could imagine the songs she did, how well she sang them. It was crazy. And so we brought her into the studio to sing the part because we really thought her voice was perfect on it. And it was like one take. She just came in and ripped it. It was like old school Broadway style. She was like, give me the lyrics, blah, 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 bang, 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 done, out, you know? She was just right in there, pocket, perfect. Mateo is doing the ad-libs, which are basically like part of theater. Is there's, this like the characters, they're on stage, one person's singing, the other person is still in the scene saying things, talking, like when he goes, oh, Leora, like that's my favorite part of the whole song. So there's just a cool vibe there. It's a very stage song. We used a part of Above the Waves that is, very iconic for that song. And we didn't want to leave it out of a stage production. How do you put it into a stage production? That was basically the conversation that started this song.
Are you telling me Above the Waves is not a part of The Very Moon?
It got separated into pieces, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's not this epic 15-minute song with a fast jam in the middle of it.
That would be a little weird in a musical theater context.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could probably do Above the Waves straight up, but for Very Moon, we were just really trying to change it up and do everything different, do everything. And every idea was put on the table, and everything ended up being a jump off point for more creativity. It wasn't like, let's do Hot Air Balloon in a Jesus Christ Superstar type of way. It was, let's make something fresh and new. Let's use these pieces and see what we can come up with.
Wow. I love the additional story that's being filled in. We always knew Manila coveted the hot air balloon, but we just thought, in the original version, in the rock opera, it's just, he's a bad guy. And here we know why. He has a plan. He's going to use the hot air balloons to wage war from the skies. He's going to drop poison candy on people, which sounds like something that you could use to great effect at like Electric Forest or something like that. If you wanted to just wipe out the Wooks, you just fly over and drop candy necklaces on them. But I love the story. I love Mateo's voice and Hannah's voices. I love Magner on the baby grand, or the grand, excuse me. All of it. It's just so fun. And it's such a different expression of your and Magner's creativity. And it's great to hear. Are there other videos and releases in the works?
Absolutely. We're just going to keep going until we're done, until you could go like watch a YouTube playlist of all the songs through and basically see a little movie type of thing. And it's going to take us a while because it's not really our focus. We do it for fun. We do it, we're trying to get through it quickly so it stays hot in our minds. But, it's hard to do that in addition to, having one of the hottest jam bands in the world and probably the hottest techno band in the world. And also a searing hot DJ project, right? That's just weird. There's so much going on.
You're not stretching yourself too thin because you're going not just in all these different projects, but you're also working in all these different idioms: musical theater, electronic music, jam band music. And I don't even know what Baba G is. Is it DJ, hybrid DJ electronic music?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one thing feeds the other. Like you get creative ideas in one world by doing things in another world, and then you end up, just having a lot of great ideas to choose from. You see a lot of different artists and then the way that they express themselves. A lot of people in music do one kind of music for their entire life, and they always are upset about that. That's always what they complain about. So I think I just avoided that because I was like, well, nobody wants to play the same song every night. That seems to be the big, I don't want it. The worst part about everybody's career is I got to play the same song every night. So we just did a lot of things to avoid that, and making a musical was a really great experience for me. I feel like we got Falling out of it, which is just a beautiful song. Some of these other songs for the Very Moon musical may never make it to the Biscuits, but I love these songs. They're really great. And the story's fantastic. And you never know where this is going to go. You never know what's going to end up happening.
Well, that's amazing. And I want to say, I've got another video to share with you, John. I don't know if you've seen this yet. This was sent to me by a fan, Ryan Hopping, whose son loves the Very Moon musical, loves musical theater, and has done an arrangement of one of the songs in a school talent show. Now, we love to highlight fan covers, and there's nothing I love more than when a young kid does a Biscuit song. John, I'm going to share with you this clip.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
here we go. Oh, yes. Yes. Let's see this. He won. He won the talent show with this.
He's got his little steampunk hat, the goggles.
He must be so nervous right now.
Kid's got pipes. Just a little taste of the young Hopping son. I can't remember his name right now. Apologies, Ryan, to you and your family. I didn't pull up your son's name, but what an amazing performance, and so cool to see how the younger generation is being inspired by Biscuits. John, we had a young kid at Camp Home again asking us questions during the songwriting workshop. We've got the next generation of Biscuits fans coming together and not just coming to shows, but actually performing their own unique interpretations of your material. It must feel really good.
It's cool. It's cool. I like it. I was nervous for him in that situation. There's no lights.
Oof.
It's totally like, 1 p.m. in a gymnasium with everyone staring right at you.
Everyone just had like French bread pizza and like a skim milk. And like they're all antsy. They want to get out to recess.
And he just steps into the beginning of Falling in this like
crushes
huge soaring register. I mean, you gotta hand it to that kid. That was legit. That was some legit singing right there.
Well, John, before we get to the rest of the shows, I know we share an interest. Well, at least when you were in California, we shared an interest in gardening.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. When you left California, you gave me your plants. And ladies and gentlemen, Barber, not just a genius with the guitar, genius in the garden. I think it involves a lot of Miracle-Gro. You were using a lot of Miracle-Gro.
I keep it simple.
You gave me some very, very healthy, flourishing tomato and basil plants. Well, so I'm a big gardener. I don't know if you guys know this. And while I was away, I didn't get to tend to my garden for a few days. So the first thing I did, John, when I came back from camp home again, I go out into the greenhouse and I pulled out of there from only 4 days away. I pulled out 23 pounds of cucumbers. Okay. 23 pounds. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
How many cucumbers is that? 23? Or is it 60?
It's got to be like 60, 50, 75. Something. It's an insane amount of. But I don't know if any of you guys have a garden.
Humble brag much?
A little humble brag, but nothing compared to what I'm about to show you.
Okay.
If you ever miss a few days of harvesting your garden, things start to get out of control. And I don't just mean the quantity, I mean the size. And so I asked Avery, would you please just go out and, do a scan, harvest while I'm gone? And she's like, yeah. Of course she didn't. She watched every true crime series that Netflix has. The full season of Mormon Housewives, the Dallas Cowgirls cheerleaders. A lot of takeout was ordered on my DoorDash. Garden was not touched. So I go in there and I'm digging around and I'm pulling out, cucumbers and zucchini. And I walk over to the one zucchini plant and look what I find.
Whoa. What the heck is that?
This is a zucchini, John.
Dude, you are incredible at what you do. Look at that.
For those of you who don't know, I'm a tall person. John is a tall person as well. But this is
California, right there.
This is like 22 inches of zucchini. I don't know. You can't eat this. I use this as a weapon.
I mean, yeah, you could get one good hit in with if somebody broke into your house. You could hit them once with that.
Cover them in seeds and then run.
Yeah, and then probably make another decision, make another plan. Maybe go get a rake.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share this with you. I'm very proud of this specimen, bigger than my cats. Yeah. This is what we have going on here. Old men talking about their gardens. But John, let's get to what the people want to hear about, which is the Disco Biscuits tour. This week you guys were in Syracuse, the Westcott Theater, 2 nights at the Bearsville Theater, Bearsville, New York for Camp Home again. Electric Forest, Sherwood Forest Stage, Tractorbeam set. And then you rounded out the week with a big Sunday show in Peoria, Illinois at the Riverfront. So we're going to check out a few of the jams from this past week. We're going to talk about everything that's been going on. But how are you feeling now 3 weeks into tour?
I feel good. Things are great. The Sunday night Peoria show was awesome. It really was it was unique and different. We tried to play there once before and it was a big festival and the festival just canceled on everybody out of nowhere. And so we wanted to come back here and do a show, but we didn't know when to do it. And then Forrest showed up for Tractorbeam out of nowhere. And we were like, great, we'd love to do that. And then we put this little Sunday show on here, but I thought it was just gonna be one of those things where we show up and, it's not such a big deal, but it was a really fun show. There's a ton of people there and it was a cool river walk area. It was hot. It was 95 degrees. It was really hot, but I like it. I like it hot. So, it was good.
I know you guys were having some trouble with the PA last night, going in and out during the second set. How do you handle that when you're on stage? Do you just have to let that roll off your back, or what do you do to not let that break your focus?
Well, they were telling us over our earpieces what was going on, and I got onto my microphone. I was like, "You guys don't need to tell us this week. Well, we can't make any decision on stage that matters to the PA system, and we can't play and not play based on whether the PA is on. Doesn't make sense for us." So I was just like, "Don't tell us. Just do your best to get the system on." And because for us, we can hear fine. We're not running off the PA. Our system was good. So we were just like, let's just keep playing and they can fix the PA or not. Well, it's out of our hands.
Well, the jams were not impacted. A lot of people loved the show yesterday. Really, people were really feeling the Country Royale, the We Like to Party Country Royale in the first set.
Mm-hmm.
Second set had lots of highlights as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to pull any clips from last night. Any personal highlights for you from last night's show, John? I know that there was a Falling 303, which I've been told a lot of people really enjoyed hearing.
Yeah, that was a great moment. Some of the jams around Country Royale I really liked. I liked the whole first set as far as the jams and everything. Second set was great too. I feel like we played really well. So I think everything's going to be good. You can play anything.
So after the show last night, you guys did a big after party, and you guys were joined by a special guest, an old friend of yours and mine, Scott McClintock. Think Tank Dubs opened up for you and DJ Brownie. How did that come about?
I don't know. He just ended up on the show. He wanted to play. He was coming down. He's from the area. He got on stage. Vasilios was on stage. It was just like a whole thing. So,
Amazing.
I mean, I love Think Tank Dubs. So I hope that we can do more of stuff like this because it worked really well.
When we were talking about, John, how Andy Frasco, a future eventual guest, was talking about how important it is for a live podcast for there to be musical accompaniment. Think Tank Dubs could be our house DJ, the house touchdowns all day DJ, spinning the mashups of Biscuits jams and dub jams and all sorts of other crazy stuff that he cooks up down in the basement. So very excited to see Scott get that opportunity. We've known Scott, Barber and I have known Scott for almost 30 years. Barber and Scott have had many misadventures. I have had many with Scott as well. Crazy stories, not appropriate for the podcast, but he has built up such a great community. Okay.
You know what he came up to me and said last night? He walked up to me out of nowhere and he was like, "Did you know that I had 5 great abysses being played all at the same time?" I was just like, okay.
That's so Scott.
All right, dude. That's awesome.
Scott always is cooking up the craziest stuff where he's like blending together multiple different Biscuits jams. If you guys, I mean, most of the people on here are Think Tank Dubs fans who check out Scott every set break, every post show. But if you guys aren't yet, it's it's the dream. It's someone who's spinning Biscuits jams as a DJ, which is a kind of cool idea. I mean, it's sort of what you guys are doing in Tractorbeam, remixing yourself, mashing yourself up with other music. And so why don't we, on that subject, and we're working backwards. We're going in reverse chronological order. Prior to Peoria, you guys were back at Electric Forest. So last year at Electric Forest, you guys did a really crazy thing. You're doing it at all the festivals, but you did that sort of like halfway between Bisco and Tractorbeam. This year, you go full Tractorbeam at Electric Forest. Set list has got a mix of some of the stuff we've been hearing at the recent Tractorbeam shows, some new stuff. I'd like to play a jam from last night, John, for us to check out. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I love that. That Tractorbeam show was wild. I was a big fan.
So my attention was immediately drawn to the fresh stuff, and this in particular. course, we're mixing it in here with Tricycle.
Yeah. Love the bass harps in there. I mean, those bass harps are so ferocious and just crazy, you know, and especially in that full sound system.
And what is the vocal sample of Tricycle there?
It's just Biscuits doing Tricycle somewhere, somehow.
Okay.
Take your pick. It does sound a little bit different than we normally sing it, right?
Yeah, it almost sounds like a studio version. Is there a studio version of Tricycle floating around somewhere that Magner's ripping from?
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Magner just sang that into like a, you know, and just made it real quick so we could have something.
Okay, John, there's one thing though that you need to talk to the Touchdowns All Day community about, and that is the fact that you have a new toy.
Truth.
So we all know the Magner likes to drop his samples. And a lot of people have been thinking that Magner has been dropping all the samples during Tractorbeam, but it turns out somebody else has been dropping samples as well. John, what's going on?
I think the last two Tractorbeam shows, I have made a sampler, and I've been probably half the samples I'm dropping at this point, which kind of frees Aaron up to do some other things. And I feel like that's good for Tractorbeam for him. You know, he's got the synths, it's a synthy band, so probably good. So both of us are doing samples on this song though.
So do you have separate samples?
Yeah.
Okay.
I maintain my sampler. He has his own samplers. Yeah. I don't even think we have too many of the same samples, actually.
So, like, for example, On and On.
Yeah,
that's you.
Mm-hmm.
The Touchdowns sample that I loved so much from
That's
the
me.
Bonnaroo. Amazing.
And this Electric Forest, yeah.
What's it like switching between your guitar sim and the sampler? Is it...
It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah?
Fun. I think it's fun. I don't know. You know? Play,
So you saw Magner having all that fun and you were like, I'm not going to let him be the only one.
Well, I do it differently than him. My whole system is different, totally different than his.
Well, he gave us an in-depth look at his system. What's your system like?
Mine's like an old school hip hop sampler built in a computer. That's all. So it's just the way a hip hop guy would do it. You know, there's the white keys. That's me going, oh, right? So I can. There, this is me dropping a Chicago sample. I'm just throwing it in. There it is.
Wow.
You can hear it in there.
I feel like we're heading toward a scenario where everyone has a sampler. We're going to be like Kraftwerk, where the four of you guys are just all on a laptop, different samples layering on top of one another.
Well, it's worth it to note that Mark hasn't played. He did play string bass at Forest a little bit.
Okay.
But it was mostly, and I could be wrong about that. I mean, he switches basses a lot. It's hard for me to remember which show I'm thinking about right now, but he plays a lot of electric bass and Tractorbeam now, that synthesized bass with the arpeggios in it. And they're crazy nasty. So that's a definite that's very on message for Tractorbeam. And I think me dropping samples is also very on message for Tractorbeam. It allows, you know, for On and On, it's a jungle song, you know, it's a drum and bass song. There's usually no guitar and drum and bass at all, really. It's very rare. So I should play the sample on a song like that. Aaron should be free to use synths and do drum and bass stuff. So that was the original logic. But really, I just wanted to do it because he does his samples his way. And I just wanted to do it my way because it seemed like fun. I just like it. It's fun.
Well, it definitely is a lot of fun for us. You were doing it quite a bit on the first night at Camp Home Again. You definitely were digging in there. You were turning your back at one point and people were like, what's going on? Is something wrong with John? I was like, oh no, he's playing the samples.
Yeah, that's where the sampler is. It's on my amp right now.
I think we need to turn it around so that we don't have to look at your back while you're triggering the samples, but it's very cool to just have one more tool in your arsenal. Yeah. So I mentioned Camp Home Again. Let's talk about it. It was a really great time for us all to be able to just set up at the Bearsville Theater for 2 days to make that home. Upstate New York was beautiful, lush, green. We had a nice pool day. We had some great food from the Vietnamese place next door. John, what were your high level takeaways from Camp Home Again?
I really liked talking to the fans and the audience in the songwriting workshop that we did. I thought you did a great job. I mean, my one takeaway was because you're in the scene, Max, we can do things like that.
Thanks, man.
Because somebody's gotta keep that train on the tracks. You know what I mean? And like everybody's doing different things and doing things, but the one consistent thing was that you were moving the train down the tracks the whole weekend long, went off smoothly, and it gives the fans more of an experience of I'm at this event that's professional, you know, as opposed to just the band members talking and getting lost.
Yeah.
You know, and so great job, buddy.
Renee, we're not going to kiss.
All right.
Please.
All right. Well, also, I mean, look, the fans love the interaction. It's a very unique show. I mean, when can you like have a band that makes the kind of music that we make that is, you know, new and fresh and interesting and on the edge of whatever it is, and we're on this like transformative place, and then you actually get to go somewhere and sit down in a chair and raise your hand and be like, how'd you do that? And then we just tell you, you know, and this is how it's done. And so that was very cool. Magner went through his whole thing.
Yeah. So guys, the thing that Magner did, if you weren't there and you missed out, I'm kicking myself that we didn't record video of this. Magner let us tap into his stage laptop and showed us his entire Ableton interface, all the banks of samples, how he warps, how he manipulates the sounds. He showed us the awesome button, the risers, the downshifts. He talked very frankly about his strategies. One of the things he said that I really liked, he said, you know, I use the risers as like a smoke bomb. I throw it, it creates a big diversion. And while that's happening, I'm setting up what we're going to do for the next section of the song, or I'm planning out what's going to happen next. He talked a lot about how he uses technology to allow him to like essentially have 8 hands.
He's such a magician, dude.
He is. Well, no, illusionist, I think.
Illusionist. Maglusionist.
So Magner was incredibly open. I mean, like, when do you ever, like, most people want to like hide the backstage. They don't want to show you how the sausage is made. Yeah. And here's Magner. He's like literally showing you his computer screen. This is how I do it. Showing some of the samples that he would end up going on to play at Electric Forest. Some that he hasn't even played yet. Some that we'll talk about in a moment. And then the songwriting workshop, John, that was so much fun because you and Joey, I saw someone saying like, the one thing that they took away more than anything from the songwriting workshop is how much fun you and Joey have together when you're writing.
Yeah, that's the great thing about working with Joey is we have a lot of fun together. It's very like, songwriting is it's a bit of a child's game. You know, you have to be in touch with just making something fun and exciting, and just that hits you in the right place. You know, and sometimes the vibe is necessary to do that. You have to have that in place. And when we do that, we get that feeling going, I think.
Really loved an idea that Joey had at the last minute, and I was a little worried that it wouldn't go off well. He said, let's do live jamception. So we took that same jam that we played last week on Touchdowns All Day Live, that segment of the shimmy into confrontation from Raleigh, and we looped it. And first you and Joey did a little jamception and just kind of freestyled some lyrics for it. Then we passed the mic around the crowd, and a variety of different people who were in the crowd took their shot at spontaneously coming up with some lyrics for that jam. Joey recorded all of that, and we have a master recording of the whole thing. We're going to put it out on the Touchdowns All Day audio feed. But who knows? I mean, that could end up becoming a future Biscuit song, and Joey can loop in some of those lyrics and freestyles that the people were putting out right there in the room.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I thought that we could have gotten to a song if it takes 5 to 11 hours to make a song. We were in there for 10 minutes, we already had a good lyric idea and a hook. So we would have gotten there for sure.
It was very, very cool. And of course, should give a shout out to Alan for the meditation sessions. Very cool to see that. And I feel like he really set the tone for the weekend because people were just locked in, attentive. It was the middle of the week. We're in the middle of nowhere. So everyone who was there like really wanted to be there. And from my perspective, it was a crowd that really like understood what was going on and was there to kind of really immerse themselves in the music.
Yeah, it was hardcores only, that's for sure. And we, when we do it again next year, everybody really liked it. Everybody had a great time. It was a really cool fan band connection, which I like a lot, and I know a lot of people do. So if we do it again next year, if we're so lucky to be able to do it again next year, well, I think we have a good format. I think we have a good idea. Like we went through a bunch of different ideas about what the format was. Do we do it at this campsite? Do we do it TED Talk style? Like, how do we do it? And so this was just, instead of like, when we put the original show on sale, like the fans were like, well, where's the concert? And then we kind of worked it into this, including the concert and the other things. I really think we got to something really cool. The fan band, interaction was we came up with a really cool idea because we listened to the fans and we took into account what they were saying. And I like what we ended up with. So hopefully we can do it again next year and, keep it. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but, we'll figure something out.
Oh, yeah. There's no shortage of things for us to talk about. We'll always be able to do that. The other two things that were big highlights were the Super Jams. Well, the Super Jam night one, where you had Tom and Tom from Brothers Past, Mike Greenfield on drums, Karina Reichman on bass.
Yeah.
They shredded.
Awesome.
Magner came out. I put a lot of that on Instagram Live. Unfortunately, that has not made it onto Nugs, but if you guys were there, that was a really, really good hour of music. My favorite part was they did a little riff on Good Vibrations, the Beach Boys song, R.I.P. Brian Wilson, who had just passed away. But they played a jam over the Good Vibrations changes that was just fucking spectacular. And then you and Magner came out, and seeing Magner and Tommy sharing Magner's rig and kind of like ducking under each other and reaching around and stuff like that. Fantastic. And of course, anytime you and Tom Hamilton get to trade solos or you get to play rhythm behind him, it's just that 30 years of history between you guys and the brothers. I guess they're more than just the Brothers Past guys, but I'll always think of them as the Brothers Past guys. It's so great every time we get to see you guys play together.
Yeah, I love playing with those guys. And part of the reason, the reason that we hire them is for the backstage hang too. It's very important. Like, we know you guys want to hear them play music, and that's great, but we really just want to give them an excuse to come hang out with us, whatever that excuse is. It doesn't really matter. That's just a great group of people. The backstage hang was lively. It was good. Everybody was in a good mood. There was a huge table backstage. We were just laughing the whole time. That was a really fun week for a lot of people, including people in the organization, backstage, other musicians. That whole group all likes each other a lot. Which is
cool. It was just, it was a supremely great hang. And there were lots of friends in town. Andy Bernstein was there. So many people. Renee sent it at the last minute. It was great to see Renee there. So many fans, so many musicians.
Peter Shapiro was there.
Shapiro was there. Yeah.
Steve and Jared were there.
We had Monster and his partner in startups, Jared Hecht. We had a wonderful pool day where we all went and ate great food, and Joey knocked children's teeth out and hurt kids in the pool.
Was last time.
Oh, that was last time. Okay.
Yeah, that was last time. This time,
no teeth?
Injuries. Joey didn't injure anybody this time.
Very good.
Good for him. I mean,
he's maturing.
Life is about small improvements.
Yes. So we had a great time, and there was some really great music. I picked out two of my personal highlights. I'm going to start out with what everybody has been clamoring for in the chat, John, and that is from night one. You guys came out for the second set with a big, bad bassist. And during that big, bad bassist, Magner played some of his new samples. And I think everybody knows at this point that that's a sample of Jerry Garcia that Magner has incorporated into.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I had no idea until you just said it.
That's Jerry.
Interesting. Very heady. Did you know he had this planned? No idea. Didn't even know what it was when he was playing it. I think he told me afterwards.
Was it a little, so I take it didn't throw you off your game, that your voice, your disembodied voice, was echoing through the hall.
No, I was playing it like a hard techno line on a new sound during that whole section. I probably to me, it just didn't sound like what it sounds like now. Because sometimes you can hear things clearly, sometimes you can't. Interesting idea, though, on Magner's part for a sample choice.
Oh, yeah.
He's very creative like that.
Oh, no, we already have lots of other ideas for Great Barber banter that we could feed Magner for future samples.
Yeah.
I mean... So, John, I will say that
Nice.
Firewall Exchange brings the best out of this band. Monster and I were standing together during that point of the set, and just everything from the excitement that you guys have when you're playing it to the vocals and the way that you deliver them. It really is such a special song. It's such a great thing to have in the repertoire right now. It really elevates the entire set almost every time you guys play it.
Yeah, you just like it because it's about LA, and Steve's from LA. You guys just like it because it's...
We're a little biased, but
yeah, you guys are so biased. It's crazy.
We talked quite a bit about the composition of Firewall Exchange during the songwriting workshop. Some interesting insights into that song's history. John, another thing I want to talk about on that first night, the 18th, was what was going on with all the different guitars you were trying out. You had a hollow body PRS. You had the hollow body smaller Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with all of the new guitars you're auditioning?
You know, this guy Jesse left a guitar in my basement. It's like a ES-135 type of Gibson, but it's a different model. The name escapes me what it is, but it's a simpler, smaller, lighter version of that guitar. So I was like, this is kind of perfect for me. And so I'm playing it a little bit. Then we also have, I think there's
James.
another
James Masters.
James left us a hollow body PRS, which is a direction that we think we want to go in with PRS. For like whatever next guitar we do together. And so I tried that out too. It was a lot of different sounds, a lot of interesting guitars. It's hard to maintain the tone with that many guitar switches. So I think since then I've been like, simplifying it a little bit. We got the Parker back. The Parker's all fixed up now. So it's like for a while there, I was a man with no Parker, and the Parker is really like the workhorse of the show. It's the Saquon Barkley of the show, if you will. The other guitars roll in and out and switch in and out. And they do other roles, the A.J. Brown role and the Devontae Smith role and the Jalen Hurts solo running role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a little assortment, but so we just have some weird things. I don't know which ones I'm going to play next week. I'll keep a fresh assortment. That's for sure.
Have you ever considered something custom? Because you have like very particular needs that it doesn't seem like any one guitar could ever really fulfill on its own.
Well, I played a Suhr, I think it is called. I'm not sure how they say it. It's Suhr. I played one of those. It was really good, really nice guitar. And then we did the Becker customs for a while, but I think that those guys were just starting out. So I don't know if those guitars were also really heavy, like crazy heavy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to do. I just keep bringing in new guitars and trying different stuff out. And I got a great set now. I mean, the Poly PRS and the Parker together are just like those two alone. You can do anything. And then you had the Gibson too. And so I have a nice 3. And then I'm like looking for a 4th. That orange PRS has been the 4th for a while. That's obviously still on tour. I'm just like kind of rotating around.
Well, the other jam that I selected from Camp Home Again, night 2, second set. You end the first set unexpectedly on the ending of Astronaut. Nobody saw that coming. Everyone thinks, oh, okay, Caterpillar opens the show. We're going to get the Caterpillar sandwich. Nope. You slam into the end of the Astronaut to close set 1, come out for set 2, and you hit us with the Astro Doorbell.
I like that sound.
Is that you?
No, that's Aaron. I like that though.
So one thing I want to ask as we listen to
That was
this,
wild. That was great. This is crazy. Whatever this is. Like it's like Bisco on Safari. You know?
Before you guys played this show, you had the Super Jam or the Everyone Orchestra Jam, with Matt Butler conducting. And I feel like you really got the creative juices flowing because the rest of the show was a lot of really satisfying, unusual jamming. Did you feel like that was like a good exercise for getting yourself into the right headspace to play this set?
I mean, I thought what Matt did was amazing. It was interesting to have him. Like usually when you play with Matt, it's a bunch of musicians who don't know each other. They don't know how each other reacts. They don't really know how to play together at all. And a lot of times they've never even met. And so in this situation, he said to me before the show, he's like, the interesting thing is you guys, he's like, I don't need to show you guys how to jam. I don't need to set up your jams. You're going to do that. So I get to do some different stuff. And he was really excited about it. I'm interested to hear his take on it, honestly. Like, what exactly was his perspective of going on stage with a band like us that's jammed together for a countless amount of hours?
I know that when you guys came off, you were all in really great moods. You were electrified. And Brownstein said, can we bring him on tour with us?
Yeah.
And I really watched Matt, like, I think a thing with the Biscuits is, you guys even have a song about it. Who's in charge? You've got a lot of alpha energy in that band. A lot of people who would be the front man of any other band. And here with Matt Butler, you have one guy who is the designated play caller. And you're all looking to him. He's controlling the tempo. He's controlling the vibes and the mood. And you guys are doing what you do best. And having that one focal point seemed to really free you guys all up to really get creative.
Definitely. There's no question that people, having someone there who can work to like control the dynamics of the band without having to play anything and actually just be like in charge of the dynamics of the band, for us was this incredibly enlightening to be a part of. I mean, it was so cool because the dynamics are so important.
Yeah.
And here they were moving all over the place. Yeah, it was great. I was a big fan.
He took Alan into tempos that he doesn't get into that often in a Biscuit set, but that he's a master of. He brought out moods that might make their appearance, he took you from bliss to dark and industrial to triumphant and soaring, like moment to moment. And it was really fun backstage before. Monster, Steve Martocci, Matt Butler, and I were brainstorming and just writing words down on a list. We were like, I think I was like Imperial Marches. And when Steve was like soaring over New Mexico, we were like just coming up with like descriptive phrases and themes and like images that, mean nothing on their own, but that can elicit from you guys different sorts of musical tones and moods and ideas.
Well, I mean, everybody in the band's a pro. Like you can stand in front of us and make some kind of statement or whatever, and you're going to get a good reaction. And I think that's why it worked so well.
It truly did. I know you were disappointed that you forgot to drop Heffany in there. After the set, you were like, I forgot Heffany.
I did, yeah. That's a sample of that. I mean, I played Doorbell at the Baba G show last night and dropped Heffany in it because it is what it is. It's a nice sample in there. It's fun. It's a very inspired rap.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're still learning and exploring with the fractal?
Oh, for sure. Like the top of that jam there was like, I'm talking to myself right now. Like I got to remember not to try and do too much with the fractal because that's my problem is I try and do too much with it. And I think the band, like we're in a real jam band moment there and it sounds great. And yet I'm like thinking about what to do and how to change. And I'm like, why isn't this more, if this is techno, why is this a jam band moment? And I wanted to get around. Yeah. It's a whole thing. It's very complicated. I feel like I'm dialing it in. It's taken me a couple weeks. It took me a year to make the Helix sound good. So it's just like, this is just me pushing through right now. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of facts. It's a lot of abilities and skills and stuff.
It's really remarkable. When we think back to what you started with, what you have 3 or 4 pedals. And at this point, you've got your computer, the sampler, the fractal, the Helix. Magner's up there with an entire Mac store worth of gear. I mean, even Brownstein's rig has continued to evolve. Alan's got his computer, his samplers. Guys have so many toys at your disposal, and it keeps you engaged and it keeps you excited because you can keep surprising yourselves.
Yeah, everybody has a lot of stuff that they can do. Maybe it's too much. I mean, it's always a lot. And then we kind of rolled it back about 2 years ago. I gave up a bunch of stuff. Mark gave up some stuff. Aaron lost a keyboard. I'm not sure what Alan, I think he changed out some drums. And we tried to simplify a little bit. And then we did that, and then we filled that space with these samplers and these other things. So it's
you get rid of one piece of gear so that you have room for the next piece of gear.
Yeah, the keys. It's hard to get rid of stuff, but you got to tell us stuff.
Well, John, big week ahead of you. You've got tonight off, heading to the Mercury Ballroom in Louisville tomorrow. Did I get that right, Amanda? Louisville. And then you've got a run of shows with some big after shows. Hopefully everyone is heading over to biscuitsaftershows.com where you can see the lineup for all of these post-show performances. On the 25th in Indianapolis, this is an interesting lineup. After your show at the Hi-Fi Annex, it's a Baba G plus Magner collab. What's that all about?
Well, the Baba G I did last night was me deconstructing the demos of the album songs, which are all made with the techno orchestra and with the band. And so I deconstruct them into pieces and then I reconstruct them live on stage, but I always reconstruct them in a different way. So I'm basically remixing things on the fly. And that was great last night, but it's hard for me when I'm reconstructing the drums and the bass and bringing the vocals and stuff like that to have room to do like melodies and stuff like that. So Aaron is going to do the melodies. And I think it's going to be awesome. I really do. It's going to be very cool. He's just got a lot of fun stuff right now, and I have this pretty dialed in. So it's going to be a very fun show.
Very good. So after the big night in Indianapolis, off to Columbus, the Bluestone. After that, there's DJ Brownie set.
Mm-hmm.
The next night, back to stage AE in Pittsburgh, where you guys had a great show in, was it this March, last March? I can't remember. But Pittsburgh has always been a great biscuits town back to the 90s. I mean, Pittsburgh shows up and throws down, and you're doing a post-show Baba G in Pittsburgh. And then you're going to round out this 5-night run covering a lot of ground, a lot of miles in Westport, Connecticut, the Levitt Pavilion. You're deep in the heart of Goose territory at that point. Are you worried at all that they're going to come and make a show of force and try to intimidate you guys or anything? I know they are big bullies.
I mean, they could come play some music if they want. I don't know what they, I don't know.
I think they're at MSG that night. They might be busy.
Yeah, they might be. They have a big show coming up there. They were in Cleveland. They invited us to their show in Cleveland the other day, and I had to prepare for the Baba G. I didn't have anything ready. I had to do like 12 hours of straight editing, so I couldn't go. But I wanted to go. I thought
We got to get you up there with them. Brownstein has, I mean, you've played obviously with their former drummer, but Brownstein had that, and Magner had that great collab in New Orleans. I never even asked you about that. One of these days I should play that for you, hearing Rick from Goose rip a helicopter. They're clearly huge Biscuits fans. They played really great versions of some classic Biscuits material. And I think I just think it's so cool that there is that musical friendship that you guys have with them. You guys clearly were a big influence on them. Goose is doing amazing stuff themselves these days. So maybe one day we'll see you get to rip a Goose solo sometime with them. And then after that, there's a DJ Brownie show in Westport.
Dude, it's worth saying I played with String Cheese at Red Rocks, and that jam was crazy sick. So I can mix with these guys. Like I went on with String Cheese in front of like 10,000 people, and that jam was ferocious. So
wow,
you never know. I feel like you mix this scene, like the bands all know each other really well, at least musically, right? And so it's easy to mix these. It's surprising to me that there isn't more Temple of the Dog type of situations in this scene. It's surprising to me.
Yeah. Well, Camp Home again too. Maybe we could look forward to that.
You know who did a little Temple of the Dogging? You know who did a little collab?
Who?
Frasco. Frasco has a song with Billy Strings and Mike Gordon on his new album.
Yeah. Well, we're still working, guys, on how to get Frasco on the podcast. He is super busy jet setting these days, making appearances on all the biggest podcasts. Theo Vaughn, Burt Kreischer, Touchdowns All Day. You know how he does it. But make sure, guys, one last plug to head over to biscuitsaftershows.com. I mean, what could be better than 2 full sets of biscuits, and then you get to go have a Baba G and Magner show in Indianapolis. I mean, that's going to be a really, really big night. And Indy definitely knows how to party. Indy throws down. Indy has gotten some great biscuit shows in the last few years and over the course of the band's career. Louisville, I mean, some great cities here. Columbus hasn't had a biscuit show in a while. And so big week 4 of the tour before you bring it back to the East Coast for the 4th of July weekend, AC. So is that maybe when Stevie gets to her first biscuit show?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I know Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, yeah.
Or she'll be asleep. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll figure it out. Her and Mom are pretty connected busy right now.
Yeah, they got their hands full.
Yeah,
a lot of work to do. All right, John. Anything else to plug, or any last messages to leave the peeps with?
I mean, I'll see you all on the road. It's been really fun. People have been showing up. It's been really great. So everybody, I'll see you out there. We got a nice run of shows for 2 or 3 more weeks. So come on out. See you there.
Bring your asses to the party. Well, John, thank you so much for taking some time out on the road. Get yourself rested up, recharge the batteries, and prepare yourself for a big night in Louisville. Tomorrow night, the Mercury Ballroom. Everyone loves that last Louisville show. I mean, that is the show that gave us Trapdoor. So much excitement about the return to Louisville. So for all you guys who get to be there, I am very jealous. And for those of you who don't get to be there, you get to be here with us and the Giant Zucchini. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, Touchdowns All Day live. John and I will keep these going as long as we can. John, thank you for taking some time out on your night off.
Thank you, Max, for putting this all together. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, guys, take care. We'll see you soon.